Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be unboxed and test out this all new FineVu LX4K dash camera. So there isn't a lot of reviews on this on YouTube, and then for this I'm gonna be doing a full honest review for this. So there is like no script which I was given by FineVu. All I was told to test it out and then to give an honest opinion and an honest review. That is what I'm going to do right now. So I also have the hardware kit and the camera. So let's first start off with the dash camera. The unboxing experience is pretty great on this. The box opens up really nice. And in here we have some instructions, how to install it, owner's manual, all of this. So that's pretty neat. Let me put that aside. And then this is the main camera itself. This has the flagship Sony Starvis 2 IMX678 sensor in here as well. So the design of this is pretty unique, and I'm gonna tell you why. So first of all, we have no USB Type-C anywhere across the board. So they are using their own cables for everything. And however, this comes with a 128GB SD card, so we don't have to worry about ordering a separate SD card. And there you go. So that's that. And let me get all of the other accessories out of the box. So in this one, as you can see, we have the power cable and all of the cables that we need. So here is your lighter power source. So basically, if you don't want to use the hardware kit, you just want to go the old-fashioned way, just plugging it in. That's the way to go then for you. And in here is our rear camera cable. So that goes from the camera all the way to the rear facing camera. And here we have some extra adhesive pads, clips, prying tool. And then in here we have our rear facing camera. So, and the other thing is that FineVu, for some reason, they decided they don't want to add built-in GPS. So personally, I really wish they did add built-in GPS. For example, this is the Red Tiger View Clear 70 dash camera. Also has the same Sony Starvis 2 sensor in there, but they've actually added their GPS module right in the mount itself. So you don't have to work around with extra harness. But in this case, FineVu decided to do a different way. So if you want GPS, you do have to add the GPS antenna. So basically, you just plug this in here, right in where it says GPS, and you can just basically hook this up to the windshield or somewhere, or maybe even just put it like this on the maybe in the front of it if you're fine with that. But that's how that works. And this is our rear facing 1080p camera. So this one really doesn't use the Sony Starvis 2 sensor. This one just has their own CMOS sensor in here, a 2 megapixel sensor to go along with that. So pretty decent, because most other brands also use the same 1080p setup for the rear facing camera. Alright guys, so moving the camera aside, we're going to move on with the hardware kit. So the main reason I will always recommend a hardware kit for a camera is because of that, even when the vehicle is turned off, the camera still records in time-lapse footage. So like that's the way, even when your vehicle is parked, if like someone hits you, hits your vehicle, scratches it, or whatever happens, you will still have the footage to go along with it. And the other thing is, it's just like a really clean setup that goes with the camera. So the way it works is really simple. On your fuse box, you're basically going to find two fuses. The yellow one is going to go which always has power. So no matter if the vehicle is turned off or on, it always has power. The other one is going to only connect to the one which only has power when the vehicle's ignition is turned on. So that way it knows when the vehicle is turned off and when it's turned on. So it will like automatically go into the correct mode. So if it's turned off, it will go into the time-lapse mode. If the vehicle is turned on, it will go into your like normal driving mode. And that's that. And the other one is ground. So basically you just connect this to any ground cable and you are good to go. And basically this one over here is all of the tools we have, and another prying tool in here. And the way they did it is just really good. It actually comes with these connectors right over here. I can basically open up the fuse that you want to connect this to, take it out, put it in, put one fuse in here, and then of course these also come with the right size of fuse. Put that fuse in, and this one is basically going to come over here, put this in like this, and after that I'm good to go. So it's really simple, and it even comes with a testing pin to actually see which one of yours actually has power or not. That's a really nice thing. In all the dash cameras I've reviewed, I've like never seen anyone actually send out on a full testing kit that comes with this one. So this is the testing kit right over here. You're going to insert this pin right on the top like this. This one is going to go to ground, and you're basically just going to use this part, put it into the fuse location to see if it lights up. It means you have power coming in. So that's pretty simple to install, pretty straightforward, and I will highly recommend that you do go this way. If you don't want to go this way but you still want your vehicle to have power once it's turned off, then I will recommend use the OBD method, which is not as good as this method, but it still is pretty discreet. Just plug into the OBD port, have it routed up, and you're good to go. And if you want to see how both of these methods work, I will like link two different videos down below, which is actually for an overhead Tiger camera, but in one of them I actually powered them up using the OBD method, and the other one I like actually hardwired everything. So for the installation, we're going to be installing it in this 2015 Chrysler 200. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be actually using the hardware kit because this Chrysler doesn't really have any fuse locations that are inside of the dash. So you do have to wire it from the upfront. So I'm not going to do that. But if you do want to know how to actually use the hardware kit, I will actually leave the link down below. One of my other dash camera videos, which I actually did in a full installation using the hardware kit. So first of all, to get started, what we're going to use is we are going to be actually using those hydrostatic pads. Put them over here before you install the dash camera, and we're going to actually plug in the dash camera beforehand to actually see how good the footage is coming on. And the other unique thing, which is pretty cool with this camera, is you do actually have an external dongle for the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi connection. So you just plug this on the top over here. Personally, it's not that big of a deal because the size factor of this is actually not that big. You just put this in, and it like really doesn't affect it because over here we're gonna have the mount anyway sticking outwards. So I mean, they probably did it because of a safety feature, so someone wouldn't have wireless access to your camera. So I actually want to install right over here in the center, since we do have ADAS and all that lane keep assist. You're going to start off with our static pad over here. Remove this one like this, remove that rear angle, and put it like this. And then now we can actually position that adhesive frame right over here. So I'm going to come like this, and nice and smooth. Okay, so I have that in place. There you go. I added this in the center right over here, and the footage coming out of it looks pretty clear. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add our GPS antenna, and also we do have the app for this, so I will highly recommend that because you can go through all of these settings, and I just downloaded it right now. It's called the FineVu Cloud. Open this, and now on the phone, there you go, we are connecting right now. You do have to connect to its Wi-Fi the very first time. It should take a little longer, but after that you're like basically good to go. So there you go, it's loading. Okay, there you go. So basically we're all in right now. We can just come over here, choose your country, and there you go. So right now I can come over here to the different settings here, adjust the system. Everything can actually be adjusted right over here. Of course, we'd have ADAS. I can turn everything off and on. And the other thing I like about this actually has speed camera. So basically how it works is it will actually use the GPS on board to actually basically just like check if there is a speed camera in front of you. And if there is, it will let you know that there is a speed camera ahead of you. So the overall UI is actually pretty good. So here at a glance, it will actually show me now saying 2SH. This means we do have both channels in here, showing me the battery voltage of the vehicle. And if I just tap on it like this, it will show me the rear camera. If you want, it will also show me the front and the rear camera. And there you go. So it will actually change like this. And if I press over here, this will actually turn the microphone off and on. Here I can turn the speaker off and on with just a single tap. And there you go. And if I press over here, this actually takes me to the settings. So I can come over here on play. This is basically just the playback. So I can go over here and actually see all that footage that was previously recorded. We have driving, event, camera recorder. So let's go driving. And here's one of the footage. Let's just press on it and it will bring it up and start playing it for me. And I can zoom it. There you go. It just started playing. That the how was actually for the rear camera. And I can go back from here into the previous camera, but and you can even create your own private folder here, move the footage there so it doesn't override it. But if you do want to override, you can also override everything. So I really do like that we do have all that functionality. And here's a memory, and here is a recording mode. So basically, it will just give you what kind of recording we're going on. So here we have the recording modes. We have smart time lapse or standard. That is only when the vehicle is parked, right? So we do have that parking is on or off. But I will recommend only turn this on when you have the hardware kit mounted in. And if I press over here, we have our full settings over here. I can adjust the display option here. So right now we'll automatically turn off, but if you want a screensaver, you can press on screensaver. And yeah, now it's on screensaver. I can also adjust the brightness, but this one does has an auto brightness, so it will automatically adjust the brightness for you. Our aspect ratio, rear camera, display menu, where I can also kind of like adjust everything. So now it will give us more detail. And once I go back to the home screen, I will show that off to you. Here we have ADAS, all of those safety functions in, our speed camera, ADAS alert, ADAS setup. We can do all on, user settings, detail settings. Then I can just do basically everything on, off, display everything, turn everything on. And if I come down, press on power, once again, this is only available if you do have the hardware kit plugged in. And this is our regular settings. I can choose which kind of vehicle it is, and even choose what is the current what is like the current angle which will be mounted. So here we have our display settings, security light, date and time, and if I press on live, it will take me back to the live review. And now since we actually changed it into detail, now it's actually giving us more detail right over here. And the other cool thing which I really would like to showcase is we actually do have this FindView logo actually lights up at night right over here. That is a really cool touch. So overall, this dash camera performs really well. However, we do have some flaws which I am going to go over. In my opinion, is the biggest one is the display. However, we still do have the full touchscreen display. The UI is really simple and really easy to use. It's not that complex compared to other dash cameras, but overall, how like the display feels, you do have to really press on it really hard compared to other dash cameras, which are the which like are just like same as your phone. Like once you press on it, that's it. But this one, this is kind of like on a different type of touch screen that you do have to kind of like really like press on it to actually like um register your touch on it. So that's the biggest thing. I really wish they did change their display, but other than that, everything else is just perfect on this camera. The Sony Starvis 2 sensor does a really good job at capturing all of those small details. We do have native 4K, so once you start zooming in, you like really don't like lose any resolution compared to those other dash cameras that don't have native 4K. Instead, they are actually using their processor to like a bump up that like resolution. So that plays a really major role in like getting those really nice crisp clean shots. And overall the build quality on this camera is fantastic, and then the footage that we're getting out of it is really good. The contrast is really good. And the only issue which I personally saw was at night. Let's say you have a vehicle going in front of you, your own headlights seem to actually really just overexposure the other person's number plate. So I've like reviewed various other dash cameras. This is like a really common thing, but like most other higher end dash cameras actually do have HDR, so they will actually automatically adjust for that. But in this camera, that really didn't happen in my testing. Okay, so that was the only flaw that I have coming out, coming from the overall the footage quality. However, this camera actually has one of the best facing rear camera quality that I have gotten. Even though it is just 1080p, it is still really clear, and you can still see all of those details. And compared to other my higher end dash cameras, even the Rare Tiger F17 Elite has a 2.7K rear facing camera, but in my testing it was pretty bad. So um, if you're in the market to buy a good dash camera for like around 250 bucks, 200 bucks, then this, I will 100% recommend this. The link will be down below in the description, so please do go check that out. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please do like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.